Hey guys, thanks for joining me here on our live stream today. Sorry for the couple of minutes delay, just trying to get some things together here. We are really excited about sharing with you some new things that are going on here at the incubator. I know that 2020 has been a year just of transition, change, unfortunately some loss for some. Retail has been having such a difficult time. It's been very challenging for retail, but it's also created some really interesting new opportunities. We've really seen a lot of development in the way that small business is really kind of taking an opportunity with some of the spaces in the markets that are opening up. And we've just seen a surge of businesses focusing on loungewear, on face coverings, on personal protective equipment, creating these really unique collaborations and intersections across industries. And we really see that there's a lot of great opportunity coming up. But what we really want to do, as a fashion incubator for Austin Community College, we really feel that it's super important for us to find ways to drive value in our local community and beyond. And so what I wanted to do today was to talk to you specifically about what we have coming up on deck for you during today's coffee talk. So instead of our normal, McKinsey report or kind of digging into some of the retail trends, today I thought that it was really important for us to get a chance to share with you about what's coming up next and how we can support our local community and beyond as we make these transitional steps. So as many of you during COVID-19, there have been some significant changes in the way that we do our work. We're working from home. You see me here sitting in, the living room, trying to, provide some additional information about what it is that we're doing and how it is that we're working. A lot of designers, are working from home studios. Some of you have transitioned into other spaces that have given you a little bit more room to do, even more product, which has been exciting to see. For some of the subscription-based models have been doing exceptionally well, especially in the value space, as well as some of the small businesses that are able to pivot very quickly during this time. We've been seeing some huge wins with small business there. So I've gotten a chance to talk with some small businesses locally about some of the exciting things that they've been doing to stay afloat, but also thrive during these very uncertain times. So one of the things that we are doing is we're looking at a variety of ways that we're, creating value and content for you. So one of the things that we wanted to do is to kind of spell out a little bit more about what does that look like and where do we get a chance to engage. And so the first space is really here, our YouTube channel. This is our space where we get a chance to share with you regularly, several times a week, where we get a chance to talk with you about what's going on in our business. We do, some live workshops, some free workshops. We answer your questions on the fly as they become available. We even interview our local community and beyond during our ACCFI Presents. So that's kind of the first place where people are able to engage with us online, on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at ACC Fashion Incubator. If you hit subscribe, you'll get all of our live updates. You'll know exactly when we're going up. If you are looking for ways to stay up on what's happening with us on our social media, you'll always be able to find us at ACC Fashion Incubator, regardless of which platform you're looking at. So if you start typing that in, you'll see us pop right up. You'll see that interlocking FI. You'll probably see that watermarked here on our screen as it's getting projected out, but you'll get a chance to see that kind of pop up from time to time. So one of the things that we really wanted to talk about here, guys, is how are we moving forward? What are some of the different ways that you can engage with us beyond YouTube, right? Everyone's kind of watching YouTube and, kind of clicking on things on demand, but we're really looking at what are other ways that people are working with the Fashion Incubator. So the first one is a new class that's starting up. It's a public course offering that is privately sponsored. It's called The Future of Fashion. So this first course is being sponsored by Macy's, and it's bringing you really a highlight of all of the different things that are needed in order for you to launch a successful fashion business. We are particularly excited about this because this course for us really is the prequel. It's really the beginning. It's before our designer in residence program. So a lot of our programs or a lot of our small businesses that are looking at designer in residence probably have already done a lot of these things already. However, if you are one of these people who's like, I'm really creative, got some really great ideas. I'm not really sure what it takes to start a fashion business. This next 6-week course starting on Wednesday, October 7th is really the one for you. So what we want to do is to give you guys an update about what's happening there. We've got industry veterans from across the board talking about everything from design and development, production and supply chain. We're talking to you about capital and financing. We're talking to you about marketing and then sales. So these are all things that if you participate in this course, it's free to you. Macy's has sponsored it. If it's free to you, it's an opportunity for you to get a chance to see if you have what it takes to start a fashion business. We believe that you do, but now it's an opportunity for you to figure out if you do. And so that first course, we actually have it's a 5-week course with a bonus track. That's how I like to call it. It's got a bonus track where you get a chance to have basically a fireside chat with some of the top industry minds in our business. Basically, they're going to be talking about what does it really take for you to start your own fashion business? So Edward Jones and Ann Casper are going to be tag teaming that conversation. If you've been watching our channel, you've already seen us do talks with them for ACCFI Presents on our Friday series. However, you'll get a chance to talk with them and listen to them in a much more intimate setting, getting a chance to ask them questions about what it really takes in terms of the time and sacrifice it takes to start a design business. So we're really excited. If you didn't get a chance to see those talks with Edward Jones III and Ann Casper, definitely go back to our channel and check out those talks. But just for you guys here, Ed was actually president at Esprit, and also a previous president at Calvin Klein. So we're really fortunate to have him on our advisory board as well as available to you with this Macy's sponsored content. Next, with Ann Casper, she used to be general manager at Saks Fifth Avenue. And so, guys, we really got some incredible minds here to help you learn if you got what it takes to start your own fashion business. So we think you do, but we want to give you guys basically like a highlight. Consider this like your checklist of what's possible. So if you're watching the chat, our team is posting in the chat the different links to the actual content, to the course, and you'll get a chance to follow us there. So we can't wait to get a chance to see you guys, in that next space, October 7th. So that'll be 7 courses. Thanks for the thumbs up. We appreciate that. Those next several courses are going to be really exciting and dynamic for you. We really believe that if you have the information you need, you can make really strong decisions about what comes next for you. And we understand that business takes money, it takes capital. And so we wanted to demystify some of that information. So we'll have different businesses sharing with you from a small business context, what does it mean to get financing and how does that work? So we can't wait to share that with you here. Got just a few people who are still kind of in our surprise, guess who's coming? But I think we'll find that all of our industry professionals will be very exciting to listen to and prepare you for the next step. So it's 10:13, so I'm gonna get on to our next exciting thing that's going on at the ACC Fashion Incubator. So one of the things that we started on and what we wanted to really be known for is our Designer in Residence program. And I'm happy to announce that we will be starting October 1st. This is a really exciting opportunity for us because initially we were thinking that we would be, bringing everyone into the studios and all of this, but guys, this pandemic is real. How about that? So what we're not going to do is bring everyone into the space and have the technical issue of managing how people are feeling and all of that. What we're going to do is we are actually launching the Designer in Residence program virtually. So it will be virtual for the foreseeable future. We're working with our administration to provide some additional space in the studios coming up. It will be there. It will be coming in the months to come. But our primary goal is to keep everyone safe and keep everyone, in a space where you can continue to work on your business, but you don't have to worry about what's happening with the ebbs and the flows of the virus. We are really, in such an unusual circumstance. And so it's so important to us to be able to create value and help things move along. A lot of our accelerator and incubator counterparts in the Austin, Texas area have been going in this route where, primarily they're looking at, working virtually with businesses. And even for fashion, that's typically kind of a tactile business. One of the things that we're seeing is that as we're working with Gerber technology and we're working with these other digital integrations, we are really excited that we're having to push this program in the virtual space, because I believe it's going to help us do several things. One, it's going to help us to really focus on being sustainable. It's going to focus on being much more digitally focused in a fashion industry that's typically not as digitally focused. And it's really going to push us into creating meaningful long-term value in a tactile way and trying to figure out how we do that. And so we believe that we are already equipped to be able to make that happen. But one of the things that we really want to do is to be able to just get started. We've really been kind of holding for, some other reasons. However, we really believe that starting virtual, staying virtual for the foreseeable future until all of this kind of clears up is really going to be our best way forward. So these businesses, these startups that are coming in as designer in residence, we see them as a bit more advanced than maybe what would be starting in the Macy's course, although the Macy's course is open for everyone to participate in. It's not, just for those who are not in the program. However, we really are leaning into these particular businesses. We've got 6 in our initial cohort that are going to really get hands-on training. They are going to get guided by mentors that are helping them to address very specific questions that they have about their business, while also going through really what an accelerator would typically do, which is go through a very structured curriculum and uncovering really additional information that helps them to go deeper in their business. They'll be riding along with us for about 12 months with, being able to finish up with a certificate. And we can't wait to get them started here October 1st. So if you're having any questions about the Designer Residence Program, we actually have that information on our website. You can go to austincc.edu/Fashion Incubator. And there's a link for the application button. We always review the applications, but we won't be looking at bringing on a new cohort until the end of the spring. We won't be reviewing them until later, but you can stay up to date on what's happening in the application process at ACC Fashion Incubator, or just subscribing to our email list at fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. So this is something that we really are wanting to make sure that we communicate clearly to you guys about what's coming up with that. And so our goal is to continually update that space as now we're getting started with the first cohort. So you'll be seeing a lot more updates from us in our web space than maybe you've seen in the past. However, what we're going to be doing is keeping that just kind of regularly flowing with, hey, here's what's happening. Here's some of the highlights of what's come out of the incubator, and being able to see a bit more about the exciting things that we've got planned for those who are incubated. We've really been wanting to, in our mind, we were thinking that pre-COVID, we would be a virtual space, maybe in year 2. But now with COVID, just like everyone else, we're accelerating that till now. And we've regrouped, and now we're ready to get started October 1st with our first cohort. So guys, we are really excited about, this opportunity. So if any of you are wanting to apply, you can always go to austincc.edu/Fashion Incubator. And just for you guys to know, the threshold for that is, really someone who's already formed their business. We ask you to provide a brand deck, which is really just an opportunity for us to understand what you believe you understand about your customer, your product, your price point, any sales that you've had, and then, being able to correctly categorize yourself in the market. We really want to work with businesses and, small brands who are, understanding who they are in the market and have had a little bit under your belt in terms of what it took to get started. You may have, filed for a trademark already. You may have already taken care of a lot of your contracts and legal. We do help to shore a lot of that up with some of our interior contacts and our community contacts as well. However, what we're looking for in the designer in residence space, which is different from the Macy's course, is a bit more formation and a bit more definition in your product and what you're planning to offer. So for some, they'll say, oh, well, that feels a bit more like an accelerator. For others, they'll say, oh, no, that's really, in our world, would definitely still be considered incubation. We really just want to make sure that you know what you're getting into prior to getting started, because we've seen a lot of success, especially for creatives, whenever you understand the balance between what happens creatively and what happens outside of that space. So that's something that's really key. So then the last thing that I wanted to bring up, and I'm sure there'll be more questions about designer in residence. I feel like we're gonna have to do some kind of designer in residence town hall, similar to what we did back in early April, whenever we were kind of redirecting ourselves. I would love to answer more questions about that program with a bit more specificity from the community. So as you guys have questions about what is it, how's it supposed to work, who's going to be in it, how are they being selected, I would invite you for us to be able to do a town hall like that, allows us to kind of dig into that and get a chance to share a bit more about what we have in mind and what's planned and what's on deck regarding the designer in residence program. But that is our core program with these additional pieces on either side. So let me tell you about this. So we have an additional, there's one more program that we're very excited to partner with the City of Austin on. The designer in residence, the incubator as a whole, is a partnership with the City of Austin and Gerber Technology. And we are very, very fortunate to have them as our founding partners on this particular program. They really are part of the groundswell of really harnessing the fashion ecosystem here in Austin, Texas. And now that we are having to work virtually, it's actually helping us grow beyond. So why do I say that? That's kind of leading me to our next program. So as we are growing beyond and as we are growing virtually as well, this has really been an incredible opportunity for us to partner with the City of Austin Economic Development Department Global Expansion Team and a grant from the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. This program is one that's really designed for businesses that are perhaps even more advanced than our designer in residence program. However, we're encouraging all to apply. This program is for businesses that have been formed for at least 2 years and with sales and revenue to go along with it, that are interested in expanding globally. So this is a really exciting program, an exchange with Egyptian brands and Austin, Texas brands, getting a chance to work and learn virtually at the ACC Fashion Incubator. This program actually begins in December. Applications are going to be open really here in the next few weeks. So feel free to watch our space. Also watch the Economic Development Department with the city. We will be co-branding and marketing that program as it becomes available. But the core of this business, the core of this project is really 2 phases. So the first phase is really focused on virtual learning and exchange with other brands. So we'll have, a handful of brands from Austin, Texas, and a handful of brands from Egypt doing virtual learning simultaneously. All the teaching will be done in English. However, we will have translation into Arabic, which will be very exciting. Very unique way of experiencing fashion business education in a global setting virtually for a number of months. So they'll be doing that we'll start in December, and that coursework will go all the way through April of 2021. We'll give a bit of time for people to kind of, digest all of that information that they've learned, and to be able to actually implement some of those things that they've learned. We'll be talking all about, how do you grow your brand beyond, your domicile, beyond your country, about what does it mean to sell into different, spaces from a cultural standpoint, from customs, duty, supply chain. It'll be a much deeper dive into very specific information about how do you actually import, export, all the things that are going to be needed for you to be able to grow your business. How do you use other trade zones and other things that help to facilitate the growth of your business beyond, where you're used to selling. And so this is really designed for businesses that are a bit more advanced, but will be students of this particular program in partnership with the city of Austin. So we're really excited to be able to be the virtual fashion business education and entrepreneurship lead on this particular program. And so we're looking forward to being able to partner with all these various entities to be able to deliver something very, very exciting. So that's phase one. Phase one is the virtual learning piece, but phase two is a part that I think that for those who have a bit of desire to see more around the world would get very excited about this. Phase two is actually where we do the physical exchange. And so last year, I had the opportunity to participate in an international delegation where we worked as moderator and speaker with something called the Rise Up Summit, which is the largest entrepreneur summit in the Middle East region. And so it was a really exciting time for us to be there, but we made some incredible contacts that's gonna make this program that much more robust and that much more potent for businesses that are looking to grow outside of this area. We're partnered up with some different entities that are really excited to be able to create meaningful sales opportunities for businesses based here in Austin. But the key is making sure that our businesses are ready to take advantage of that opportunity and vice versa. This really is an exchange where we're really helping to build the economies at an emergent level in both areas. And so we're very excited about what's possible there. Let's see. So the second side though, guys, this is really where we're talking about the physical exchange. And we're very excited about this physical exchange where we'll have businesses from Austin actually traveling to Cairo, which is a very exciting opportunity for them to grow, to learn a bit more about the culture, to learn a bit more about how business is conducted there, to see some things that are different from the way that you typically work here in the United States and vice versa. So then the Egyptian brands will come here to Austin, Texas. So right now we're planning that for the end of 2021. However, our expectation is that those things will actually, our expectation is that there may be some shift in the timeline depending on where we are with the pandemic. So I think that as we're looking at what will come, we want you to be aware that this may have a bit of shifting in the physical experience. However, the virtual experience is already set. So we're working very closely with the World Affairs Council, as well as the City of Austin Global Expansion Team, as well as Economic Development and the Embassy of Cairo, to be able to create a program that really will make a huge difference for certain businesses that are ready to expand in this area. So as we're looking to create that and to promote that in the future, you guys will be seeing some additional content coming from us. So if you want to subscribe to our email, if you haven't already, it's fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. And I probably won't be talking about it from this space probably again. However, we will be posting on it on all of our social media. So once all of that goes live for the applications and the process, all of that will go live here probably in the next 3 weeks. And so you'll get a chance to actually apply, and maybe we'll even host a quick session to answer a few questions of yours. So give us a note and let us know what you need. However, if you want to keep up with what's happening with that, really our email and our social media is the best way to do that. So guys, we're really happy that we've got a few things going on that we are wanting to invite you into with us. If you're just starting out and you're really just trying to figure out if this really is for you, that Macy's course starting on October 7th is really going to be special for you. It's free. It's 6 weeks. It's just one night a week. And it's an opportunity for you to kind of create a checklist of all the things that you're going to need in order to start your own fashion business. If you are slightly more established and you've started selling, you got a brand, you've got a brand name, you've got a very clear direction about what it is that you're trying to sell, Designer in Residence is really the best space for you. And so if you haven't applied to the Designer in Residence program, go on our website at austincc.edu/fashion incubator and take a look at our application, just so that you can kind of be in preparation for the next cohort. And then for the last section, guys, is really, if you're a bit more advanced and you have been selling for at least 2 years, we really see this as businesses that are looking to expand beyond the Austin, Texas area, beyond the United States as a whole, that you're ready to expand and start importing and exporting. We really want to see you in the space of applying for that Egyptian brand exchange program with the global expansion team. So that's coming up here shortly. It's called ATX by Egypt, and it's really, or plus Egypt. And so it's really that exchange program that's happening virtually, as well as an exchange program that will happen physically. So there's 2 phases. Just to remind you, the first phase will happen from December through April for classes on fashion management and entrepreneurship, specifically for growing beyond the US. And then the second is going to be the physical exchange. So we're very excited about bringing that to you. So guys, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk with you. We are really excited about all these different ways that we're getting started this fall. We've got a lot of dynamic experiences for you. Of course, you can always find us here live on our YouTube channel this morning, on Mondays, Wednesdays for Workshop Wednesdays, and then Fridays for ACCFI Presents. We've had a couple of weeks that we've taken off from ACCFI Presents, but we're looking forward to jumping right back in where we left off. So guys, thanks so much again. We really enjoy our time with you, and we're here wrapping it up here at 10:30. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Nina Means. I'm the director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator.